Alcoholism, the morbid condition resulting from the excessive and prolonged use of alcoholic beverages. In chronic alcoholism or dysphomania, alcoholic liquors have been taken in excessive quantities for long periods of time, and the drug acts as a slow poison and causes disease in various organs of the body. Bright's disease of the kidneys is so frequent as a result of chronic alcoholic poisoning that, according to Pitt, Guy's hospital reports show that 43% of chronic drinkers are affected by it. Nervous disease, ending in insanity, is a common sequel to alcoholic indulgence. In savage states, as a result of the examination of 4,000 insane persons at the Bethlehem Hospital, that alcoholism was the admitted and direct cause in at least 7% of the cases. Alcoholism is an important factor in the causation of disease. And in all diseases, alcoholics are bad patients. In epidemics, the mortality among drinkers is excessive, and the general power of resistance to disease, injury, and fatigue is diminished. Dr. Charles H. Hughes, editor of The Alienist and Neurologist, estimates that 15% of nervous, 10% of digestive, and 10% of heart diseases are due to it. This is 1912. This is from. The mortality from alcoholism is great, though exact figures are not attainable. Dr. W.B. Richardson estimated the annual number of deaths from intemperance in England and Wales was at 50,000, or 10% of the entire mortality. That from the Encyclopedia of Temperance and Prohibition, Funk and Wagnalls Company, New York, 1891. Alcoholism lessens the chance of life. The English life insurance companies found that the presumptive length of life of non-drinkers was about twice that of drinkers. Neeson compared the mortality of 6,111 drinkers with the general mortality of England and found that there were 58.4 deaths per 1,000 per annum in the former, as against 19 in the latter category. On the other hand, the superior biostatics of Jews under normal conditions is well known, and may be connected with the absence of alcoholism among them. The close relationship of alcoholism and crime is well known, and the statistics of Bayer der Alkoholismus, Curella, Galavarden, and Schickart, that guy, show that from 25 to 85% of all male factors are drunkards. Okay, let me back up. The close relationship of alcoholism and crime is well known, and the statistics of Bayer show that from 25 to 85% of all malefactors, not male factors, malefactors, are drunkards. The rate of suicide varies with the general rate of consumption of alcohol in different countries. On the other hand, Jews are little liable to this form of alienation. Intemperance is a contributing cause in 20 to 24% of divorce cases, and its relation to pauperism is a matter of common experience. You don't hear people call that no more, huh? The evil effects of alcoholism are evident in the drunkard's posterity, that being his children. Schickart found alcoholism in the parents in 16%, Puella in 30%, and Morrow in 46% of large numbers of criminals examined. Now, let's see if we could read this. Epilepsy, insanity, idiocy, and various forms of physical, mental, and moral degeneracy. are very disproportionately prevalent among the offspring of alcoholics. These diseases, okay, let's read that one more time. Epilepsy, insanity, idiocy, and various forms of physical, mental, and moral degeneracy are very disproportionately prevalent among the offspring of alcoholics. These diseases are also very frequent among Jews, but are certainly not due in their case to alcoholism. Alcoholism prevails all over the world and is probably increasing, more especially among the northern nations. But among the Jews, it is almost an unknown affection. Their sobriety is proverbial, and experience among Jewish medical practitioners is unanimous to the effect that occasion to observe the disease in the person of a Jew is of excessive rarity. The Jews are undoubtedly subject to nervous diseases to a greater extent than the general community, but this is due to the social and hygienic conditions under which many of them live, and not to alcoholism. I always thought it was due to their guilty consciences. The rate of suicide is far less in Jewish than in other communities, and this is undoubtedly connected with the absence of alcoholism. Attention has already been called to the intimate connection of the two. It has been suggested that the absence of alcoholism among contemporary Jews is due to the fact that those addicted to it in the past left families which have died out. Okay, let me try to read that better. It has been suggested that the absence of alcoholism among contemporary Jews is due to the fact that those addicted to it in the past left families which have died out. But there is no evidence of any prevalence of alcoholism among Jews at any period. Statistics confirm the general opinion of Jewish sobriety, selecting two typical hospitals as possessing the most trustworthy records. A comparative investigation may be made as to the prevalence of alcoholism among their patients. The Boston City Hospital has a general clientele in a town that does not contain a disproportionately large number of Hebrews. In 1899, there were 7,104 cases treated there, and of these, 226, a little over 3%, were admitted for alcoholism. The Bet Israel Hospital of New York City has an entirely Jewish clientele, the proportion of non-Jews treated there being a negligible quantity, not over 1/4 of 1%. Whoa! Its records show 4 cases of alcoholism or diseases directly attributed to it, and 3,000 cases that applied for admission during the last few years. This is a little over 1/10 of 1%. Hence, the records show that alcoholism is at least 30 times as prevalent among the general community, including the Jews, as in that race itself. Dr. Norman Kerr, one of the highest authorities upon alcoholism, says in regard to drink among the Jews, in inebriety, its etiology. What do you say? What? Oh, here it is. Extensively as my professional intercourse with them has been, I have never been consulted for inebriety by the person of a Jew, while my advice has been sought for this complaint by a very large number of Christians. What? In my opinion, their general freedom from inebriety, inebriety. Inebriate, well, it's from like inebriate, right? So inebriety. In almost every clime and under all conditions. There are few exceptions to this rule, as it is as much due to racial as to hygienic influences, and more to racial than religious influences. This extraordinary people has, amid wondrous vicissitudes, preserved a variety of distinctive characteristics. And I can not help thinking that some inherited racial power of control, as well as some inherited racial insusceptibility to narcotism, strengthened and confirmed by the praise of various hygienic habits, has been the main reason for the practice of for their superior temperance. Even among those Jews in whom there has been an unusual amount of alcohol drinking, though they were not drunk. There might be an unusual amount of alcohol drinking, but the Jew is not drunk, I assure you. When there has been slight thickening of speech, glibness of tongue, and unwanted exuberance of spirits, evidencing a certain amount of alcoholic poisoning. What? Oh, dude, the cope here. Dig this cope. Okay. Even among those Jews in whom there has been an unusual amount of alcohol drinking, though they were not drunk, when there has been slight thickening of the speech, glibness of tongue, and unwanted exuberance of spirits, evidencing a certain amount of alcoholic poisoning, I have never detected the existence of the disease inebriety. Of this strong impulse to alcoholism or other narcotism, I have never seen a case amongst this distinctive people. Well, thanks, Doc. Other authorities believe that the sobriety of the Jews is rather dependent upon their social condition. Thus, Samuelson, in A History of Drink, a review, social, scientific, and political from Trubner, London, 1880, says, little need be safe of the drinking habits of the modern Jews. They are notoriously a sober race, both in England and elsewhere, and their temperance is mainly due to two causes. Two causes, you say? Oh, here we are. First, they are a small community, and their partial isolation from other religious denominations has a tendency to make them careful of their morals. Yo, sometimes this is like a legit comedy book. The most important reason, however, is that they do not follow any avocations which necessitate great physical exertion. Thus, we seldom find them working as artisans or day laborers, so that there is no great bodily waste to be repaired. And they are, moreover, removed from the temptations to excessive drinking to which the great mass of classes there is more intemperance. As already remarked, however, on the whole, the Jews are a sober and exemplary race, whose habits in this respect are well worthy of universal imitation. That's one of the most remarkable things I've ever read.